associated with this project since 2010. And every time I went to speak at any forum like this, I used to just get a sense of what is the penetration of Aadhaar. So the first thing that I used to ask is that how many of you have Aadhaar card? So some hands used to be raised. After some time, I started asking the question. Then I found that lots of people already have Aadhaar. Then I started asking the question, how many of you do not have Aadhaar? Then I think during last 1 year I have stopped asking that question itself. Because I don't get a response as such, except in a very, very rare case. So the whole idea is that now Aadhaar has become acquired a shape of kind of a national identity. If we talk about the figures, total number of Aadhaar given as on date exceeds 112 crore. Even today, because our own impression was that once we cross 100 crore, the rate of enrollment will come down, because the people will be somewhere there who may not be having Aadhaar, may not be wanting to get Aadhaar number, or may not be able to get access to Aadhaar enrollment system. But every day I monitor the figure, what is my daily run rate. Even today, the daily run rate of Aadhaar enrollment exceeds 5 lakh a day, even today. So now I find that people who do not have Aadhaar, now they are really kind of very much aware, and they really want to get Aadhaar as early as possible. So how did this happen? That first of all we got such a wide coverage of Aadhaar, and then now more and more people are wanting to get Aadhaar number. Naturally there must be some benefits attached to this. Because in the beginning there used to be debate that I already have several of the IDs, like in your wallet you will find that you have several IDs. Why have another Aadhaar card? So what do you tell them? First of all, Aadhaar is a non-duplicable identity. It is almost near impossible, because I am from the technology side. I wouldn't say it's completely impossible, right? Because I never, anyone who is dealing with the technology, in his dictionary, the word impossible should not be there, because you don't know what can come in future. So I would say it is near impossible to get a duplicate Aadhaar number. One person getting two Aadhaar. That is number one. Because we do the entire biometric deduplication. The biometric deduplication is done not on the basis of one fingerprint. All your 10 fingerprints, iris, photographs, everything together, we do this biometric. You can also understand the scale of deduplication. That today, let us say, supposing somebody goes for Aadhaar enrollment, then and as I said a little while ago, that more than 5 lakh people are enrolling every day. So those 5 lakh people, 10 fingerprints and iris, they are matched with 112 crore people, 10 fingerprints and iris. And this kind of a matching has to happen within 24 hours. And this is the kind of capacity that we have built in our country. Because if I do not do in 24 hours, then what happens? I will have a huge backlog, right? So this is the kind of a deduplication capacity that we have built in. And on that basis we issue Aadhaar. Then, so this is a non-deduplicable identity. Initially before Aadhaar name was given, we used to call it unique ID. The people used to ask that, the ID itself is unique, then why additional adjective unique? So that time you say it is unique because, first of all, it is a non-duplicable. But there is also another very powerful feature of Aadhaar which is not there in any other form of ID. That is an online authentication. Then, when you have an Aadhaar number or Aadhaar card, you enter your Aadhaar number and you put your biometric, fingerprint or iris, and then your name, address, everything is displayed. So this we call it eKYC authentication. So supposing somebody has printed a fake Aadhaar card, he will be caught. Because the issue of the fake printing is very easy, because there are hundreds of softwares available where you can print any card. And I am pretty sure that the people may be printing all other kinds of IDs also. But in case of an Aadhaar, at least it is there that you authenticate yourself through your fingerprint, and what is most important is your ID. So this is an online authentication system, which is also available to the outer world and to every user through a certain protocol. And this online authentication, that makes it very, very powerful. What it does is that it, of course, it verifies that you are the person whose this Aadhaar number belongs to you, number one. And if you are doing biometric authentication, you are also doing one very important thing, that is that you are proving your presence. That here is the place where you put your biometric, and you are proving your presence. And also you are doing it, not somebody else is doing it. So what does it mean? That you are proving your presence, number one, and you are kind of signing it. That because you are putting your thumbprint or fingerprint, and you are doing it. Now with this idea, this whole concept of presenceless, doing any transaction, because if you want to do any transaction, you have to prove your identity first. You are so and so. Then you fill in certain form, then you have to sign that application. Today you used to sign the application by hand. If you are doing some online, then you have to sign, but then it always used to be a problem that who has signed this online application. Then we used to say that let him get a digital signature. Now the digital signature, again, it was not accessible to everyone. I mean, the digital signature, of course, can't be made accessible to 100 crore people, right? I mean, in a very, very cost-effective manner. What Aadhaar has done is that it has enabled everyone to e-sign to entire 12 crore people. So you can prove your presence, you can prove your signature digitally through this Aadhaar and nothing more. And then the third wave. So first wave was proving your identity, that has been done. Then the second wave of Aadhaar was that prove your presence and prove your signature. And then the third wave is the digital payment. That your bank account is linked to Aadhaar number. So in order to withdraw money or do banking transaction, what do you do normally? I mean, you sign a check. Now instead of signing a check, you go and enter your Aadhaar number on a device, put your fingerprint, the money, because your presence is proved, your identity is proved, and your signature is also proved through Aadhaar. So it is 3 in 1, and then you are able to do this digital transaction, and you can make a digital payment. So that is the exact way that we have been talking about, and we are calling this AadhaarPay, where you don't need certain kinds of device, proprietary device, or certain kinds of card or any chip, and people should be able to do transactions. Now in India, we have a different class of people. There are some people like us who can handle debit card, credit card, handle PIN, and can do internet banking and contribute in the process of digital payment cashless movement. But there are again a large class of people, we estimate approximately 30 to 35 crore people, who don't have access to a smartphone, who don't have access even to a feature phone. They are semi-literate or illiterate. Largely they would belong to the disadvantaged section of people. They cannot handle debit card and PIN and other things. If they have to make transaction digital, how do they do that? For them, the easiest is that enter their Aadhaar number, put the fingerprint, the money can be taken from their bank account, and then the transaction can happen, or that person can withdraw cash. One of the It's a very powerful story. Government of India, gives a pension to old aged widows who have no one to look after. And then the pension amount is around 1,000 rupees or something like that. Every month, then the pension goes into her bank account. Now, typically you see that the widow will be living in some small village. The government gives that 1,000 rupees every month in her bank account. Now, supposing if she wants to withdraw the money, how would she be able to withdraw the money? Because this is the subsistence money which she needs, that cash. And how does she do that? So the earlier what she used to do is that she used to ask one of the persons in her village that there is a bank branch which is about 30 kilometers away, and I have to go to the bank and then I have to withdraw money. Now, in order to come and get to the bus stop, she has to walk 3-4 kilometers. I mean, it's a general Indian scenario, right? Then you catch a bus will take 2 hours. By the time you reach that place where the bank branch is there, then the bank branch is closed because the bank branch, the customer business is stopped after 2 o'clock. She has to stay there overnight. And then somebody has to accompany her because she can't come alone because she is more than 60 years of age, and then generally she is a destitute, she doesn't have anyone to look after. Right? Next day she withdraws the money and then the same journey back home. So 2 days just to get the money. Now, using Aadhaar, what is happening is there are business correspondent. Business correspondent goes to the doorstep, and then that widow puts the fingerprint, and the money is given to her at the doorstep. Or when we are talking about the digital payment, just imagine that the local kirana store, if he has this device, which could be a smartphone along with this biometric dongle, and there, the Aadhaar number is entered, fingerprint is taken, the money goes directly from his bank account. No need of even withdrawing cash and making payment to the merchant. So that is the kind of revolution that we are talking about in India. And this can happen only in India because only India has Aadhaar and Aadhaar authentication system. I mean, just to give you a sense of figure that we are not only talking in terms of possibilities. Today, every day, we are getting authentication, such authentication for the digital payment as well as the attendance or for the various purposes. 2 crore authentications are happening every day. 2 crore authentications are happening every day. More than 4 crore people have opened their bank account using no paper, only through this Aadhaar eKYC. People are able to withdraw ration, PDS, the benefits, by putting their thumbprint and withdrawing their ration. So what does it do? Earlier, people used to go to the ration shop and they say, ration khatam ho gaya, aap aaye nahi paye. Now, the ration has to stay for the whole month because, this ration can be only given after the fingerprint authentication. So there is a complete traceability that, who has taken ration, and therefore, if it is my entitlement, then only I can receive, nobody else can, snatch my entitlement. So that is the power given to a common man, and that's what the Aadhaar has done. And then total number of PDS beneficiaries, you see 82 crore. Entire Andhra Pradesh, Sanjay Jaju is here, he was very actively involved in this whole project. Entire Andhra Pradesh, today the PDS benefit has been done through this Aadhaar enrollment. Entire Rajasthan is doing the same way. Gujarat is also doing the same way today. And then this whole movement of the PDS withdrawal through this Aadhaar-based system is spreading all across the country. So I think with this I will end here, and then I will look forward to further discussions. Thank you.